There's a divider in the center of the spring barrel. This keeps the two springs from getting tangled up. And there's the divider. Simply pull that out. Put it in parts cup for cleaning. And we're ready to start on the second spring. Now the second spring is a little bit harder to do because it's deeper down inside of the barrel. And as you pass this point right here where this rivet is, of course the rivet's attached from the outside, goes all the way through the barrel, and it's just barely sticking up in there. You can just barely see it. I'll go ahead and scrape some of that grease. Get my putty knife and just scrape a little bit of this old grease out of here. Just a little bit. And I'll do this one the same way. I'm just going to pull it straight up as soon as I get it up over the lip. Like that. And every now and then, as I said, it's going to get caught on this rivet. So you simply got to pull it back and let it clear. There it is getting caught. I don't know if you can see that or not. So I'm just going to pull it back away from it and let it keep going. And we're caught again. That only happens on the bottom spring and only on the pear-shaped hole springs. The bent arbor springs are way easier to remove and put back in. Both designs worked really well. When I get these out and start the cleaning process, I'm going to inspect the springs before I put them back in. Make sure that there's no bends or breaks. And we're all the way to the end, so I need to, there we go. Still looks in good shape, so we can reuse that. I'll set this one outside with the rest of it. And we have our spring barrel empty. Go ahead and scrape a little bit of this grease out from that one. And that's ready for cleaning. Now we are going to spend probably an hour or two cleaning parts before we can put it back together. Okay, I've moved outside for the cleaning process now, and of course kerosene is flammable. If you use kerosene or gasoline or a parts cleaner of some sort, you want to be sure that you're away from all open flames such as furnaces or hot water heaters, or smoking is prohibited, of course. I've got my springs laid out on the concrete over there. I'll do those last because they actually make a black mess out of the kerosene that I use. And we want to remember that the ball bearing is still in place at the end of the spindle. It's still inside of the frame of the motor there. Sometimes you have to take a safety pin or something and dig up in there and get it out. And that would be right at the end of this. But I'll let it soak for a while. You'll hear it fall out. And again, it's the size of a BB, so it's not as easily lost as the other pieces. And we'll go ahead and douse some kerosene in there and let that start to soak. I also have the governor and the two little keeper pins down in the bottom of this small bowl. I'm going to pour a little bit of kerosene in there because I do not want to lose those ball bearings. They are extremely small. So I'll go ahead and pour a little kerosene in here, and we'll clean the governor and those two pieces separately in this cup. There's the ball bearing. I'll set that in the parts cup. There's the spring barrel. Here is the spindle and the small gear. See if we can clean up the governor and the governor pins. Now while I clean these, I'm going to hold these over this cup just in case those ball bearings come out. They will fall into the cup. And it's still in there. Take my safety pin and see if I can get that loose. I've had a few of these that don't come out, and that's okay. As long as it's clean in there, I suppose it's alright. I don't spend too much time on it as long as the bearing is in place. That one's still in there. It's still there too. I'm just going to leave them in there. Now we're ready to dump in the rest of the parts. This is the drive gear and the shaft and the divider, and we'll get those cleaned up. And we'll be ready to start our springs. There's the winding gear, a little catch. And now we're ready for springs.